Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to talk on the aspects of puja and sadhana. In our country, Bharat, India, puja is a very significant aspect of our life. And also, we have something called as sadhana, and many of us tend to mix up or get confused what is puja and what is sadhana. Are they same or are they different? So, इस वीडियो में थोड़ा आज हम लोग बात करेंगे ये साधना क्या होता है और ये पूजा हम लोग सभी करते, अलग अलग पद्धति, अलग अलग उपचार अपना सबका लाइफ में है। एंड आज इस वीडियो में हम लोग इसका कॉग्निटिव एस्पेक्ट, इसका न्यूरोलॉजिकल एस्पेक्ट, इसका साइकोलॉजिकल एस्पेक्ट्स एक्सप्लोर करेंगे। एंड ऑफ कोर्स वी आर गोइंग टू रियली अंडरस्टैंड ये अपना ज़िंदगी में, अपना लाइफ में इसका क्या योगदान है एंड कैसे अपना लाइफ कैसे और बेहतरीन हो सकता है, दोनों का ज़रूरत है। तो चालू करते पूजा से। पूजा जो है, पूजा इज़ फ्रॉम द टाइम मेमोरियल, इट इज़ इन्वॉल्व विद अस ना। पूजा इज़ अ ब्रिज बिटवीन समथिंग विच इज़ इन्फिनाइट एंड समथिंग विच इज़ डिवाइन एंड समथिंग विच इज़ मंडेन, जो हम लोग रोज़ का ज़िंदगी में हम लोग करने की कोशिश करते। आज की दिन में, आज की दुनिया पे भाग दौड़ी है, डिजिटल टॉक्सिसिटी काफ़ी लेवल पे है, फिर भी हम लोग कोई स्पेशल दिन में भी, सोमवार, मंगलवार, शनिवार और कोई भी दिन जो जिसका पसंद है, अपना रीति रिवाज का साथ हम लोग जाते मंदिर में, हम लोग पूजा करते। पूजा जो है, पूजा हम लोग सिर्फ एक सेकंड के लिए नहीं है और एक दो सेकंड के लिए नहीं है और कुछ मिनट के लिए नहीं है। हाँ, वो भक्ति भाव से करते, हम लोग एक डीटी और एक देवता और देवी से मिलते। तो इट इज़ अ कम्युनिकेशन बिटवीन द ह्यूमन एंड द इन्फिनाइट। नाउ लेट्स गो बिट इन टू द पास्ट। आप देखेंगे पूजा हैज सर्टेन काइंड ऑफ एवोल्यूशन। द फर्स्ट पूजा in terms of what actually we had in the civilization is something to do with the Vedic yagna, जहाँ पे fire sacrifice was done, where fire was considered as the mouth of the gods and the goddesses. So हम लोग बोलते हैं स्वाहा। So it is a connect, and of course fire is something that has made civilization to happen, and both not only in Indian civilization, in also other civilization, we have seen the importance of fire, because fire was something which is so precious. We never knew how to produce fire, but fire is something which is divine, that has really lighted the very existence. And we understand that so many things can be done with fire. Even in the Katha Upanishad, there is something called Nachiketa fire, or Nachiketa fire sacrifice, because that was given by Yama to the great aspirant of knowing the unknown, that is divine, and the Atman and the Brahman, that was Nachiketa. So after that then came the Upanishadic period, where in Upanishads it is all about trying to understand Atman kya hai, Brahman kya hai, and of course we are trying to go more inside, and it is more of the bhakti. And then came the Puranic Katha, the Puranic tradition, the temple tradition. In the Puranic tradition, of course, we talked about the deities and the altar, where we have a lot of vidhi and niyam and rivas जो करते। Now पूजा का काफ़ी सारे process है। It starts with like avahan, invocation. Then it is talking about where we talk about the asana, the posture and the seating. Then arghya, that is washing our feet and hands. Then snan, that is the ritual bath. And then of course उसका बाद भी काफ़ी सारे प्रोसेस है। गंधा, दैट इज़ दी टॉकिंग अबाउट द स्मेल दैट हैपन्स टू द सैंडलवुड। पुष्पा, द फ्लावर। वस्त्रा, उसको पहले आता है, दैट इज़ द डेकोरेंस, द ऑर्नामेंटेशन। एंड देन नैवेद्य, द प्रसाद, एंड देन द आरती। आरती आप देखेंगे एक एलिमेंट है जहाँ पे हम लोग संध्या आरती करते। आरती में एक कुछ सूदिंग म्यूजिक पीछे चलते, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द डीटीज एंड द गॉड्स, एंड दैट इज़ वेरी वेरी प्लीजिंग। And we'll understand that that puja mein there are a lot of dimensions in terms of our nervous system. So we have something to do with the olfactory, that is to do with the smell. We have the dhoop, we have the sandal paste jahan pe apne ko घ्राण milte, and that actually improves our senses. एक soothing atmosphere apne ko milte. Olfactory, And then we have gustatory, that is the prasad. Visual, that is the deities in front of us. The mandir itself has so much of a vibration, na? And uska baad we have the auditory, and that happens from the bell. And जब हम लोग मंदिर में जाते हैं हम लोग बेल बजाते हैं, tongue, and that also is a very soothing. एक मंदिर में multiple bells होते, तो बेल लोग आते रहते हैं, बेल बजाते रहते हैं. So that actually gives us a fantastic experience. So mandir is a portal for positivity. A mandir is a portal for lots of great vibration. And you will find that when you go to a mandir, you cannot have any negative thought, because that is surrounded by good things, surrounded by people who are actually having a positive thoughts. मंदिर में सिर्फ जाना, दर्शन करके आ जाना नहीं है. मंदिर में जाके कुछ देर तक बैठने का, because you carry a lot of vibrations and you are bridging between the mundane world of yours, रोज का जिंदगी, or a divine infinite dimension of yours. So this is to do with the puja. Puja is something like checking the hardware. And when you say hardware, means you are trying to see that सारे जो द्रव्य, जो वस्तु पूजा के लिए चाहिए, जो सामग्री चाहिए, सब ठीक जगह पे है कि नहीं. Sadhana is all about trying to really reboot your system. It is upgrading your software. Now, when you extend your puja with bhakti, bhakti is also there in the puja. Sadhana is something to do with rigor and a vigor. It is a practice, it is a discipline. It has to do with the mind, and it has to do, and there's a kahaya that, rather it says in the yogic practice, sadhana is something which is much more elongated. Sadhana requires a sankalp. Sankalp is a determination. It is a vivek. वो काफ़ी dimensions में है. Lalita Shahasrama is one of the 1,000 names of the Devis. You will find that in one of the, among the Dash Mahavidya, we have Lalita Tripura Sundari is one of the Mahavidya. An embodiment of love, embodiment of bhakti, embodiment of giving you whatever you want with a bhakti bhav. And it talks about Mahatantra, Mahamantra, Mahayantra, Mahasana. And you will find that there's an element of both puja and also the sadhana. So it is Mahatantra. Maha means something great. Tantra talks about an expansion. And Mahamantra itself is something that we pronounce. Manana Trayati Iti Mantra. And mantra talks about vibration. It actually gives you certain kind of a rhythmic pulsation in your system. And it improves your prefrontal cortex. Your seat of logic improves. And it down-regulates certain element which actually increases our cortisol, that is our stress. So you'll find that it increases your seat of logic and decreases your level of strength. And then yantra is geometric divine dimension that helps you to concentrate. So it is the tools to understand. And mahasana, so that means it is being seated. So we are trying to invoke something which is in the transcendental domain to something which is in the empirical and to the real domain. So you'll understand that puja and sadhana has a connection. Puja is much more ritualistic, whereas sadhana is much more elongated, rather it is transcendental. Puja is something to do with your five senses, whereas sadhana is something that you are trying to understand your deep structure within. Puja is something that you can do every day with bhakti bhava, but sadhana is something that demands a lot of elongated practice and a discipline. Puja, of course, is something that once in a while you can do, but sadhana is being advisable that do it daily. Puja is something like a hardware, whereas sadhana is more like a software. Puja helps you to cleanse yourself at an external domain, of course at an internal domain, but sadhana is something which is trying to really improve you at a long term. It is a long term potentiation. And we generally have so much of neural network in our brain, and when you're doing a sadhana, you'll find that it is actually improving our way to have a logic, and it actually also calms your mind, and that is how we tend to develop our way. Sadhana is something which is goes a long way in your own development process. It is something that actually helps you to really understand and calm down and understand the nuances. And there is something in your brain, something which is called as a reticular activating system which actually helps in our awakefulness and our consciousness. And once we are into the sadhana, our RS is much more improved upon. Also, that is something to do with the vagus nerve, which is the most elongated nerve of the parasympathetic nervous system, which actually regulates our involuntary system in our physiology, like digestion and then immune system, then breathing and our sleep. So when you are actually into a sadhana, you will find that all this, your parasympathetic system and your involuntary system is automatically getting much more enhanced. So you have a better breathing process and you have a better sleep, you have a better digestion. So you'll understand that puja, which is trying to bridge between the mundane and the divine, is something which is the day-to-day connect, but sadhana is something which is much more deeper. And when you do and integrate both of them, you are trying to reboot yourself, you are upgrading the software. हम लोग बोलते आपने नहाया, आपने स्नान किया, हम लोग करते रोज. But what about your mental bath? What about your mental cleansing? And you will find that these two elements, puja and sadhana, they help us to really improve our nervous system, and it has a lot of a cognitive fitness. Cognitive fitness talks about to what extent actually you have improved your mind, because we improve our infrastructure, we improve our fashion system. But what about you're improving your mental software? And as such, though there is no manual, I prefer that Bhagavad Gita is one of the manual for our living, and one should read, because when you read Bhagavad Gita, actually you are doing the puja, and Lord Krishna is talking to you. And right here, right now, there is Lord Krishna in and around you. And we are able to connect with Lord Krishna because of the bhakti bhav. So it is being said that in chapter 9 that patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prachayate. That means it is not magnitude of the gift, but rather momentum of the heart, to what extent you are close to the deity. And once you are into the puja, you get absorbed, your heart melts, you start connecting with the deity in front of you. And you never know that unknowingly you have gone into the sadhana. So extended from a puja with a deeper significance, with a deeper bhakti bhav, you move into the sadhana. And once you're into the sadhana, you understand that there is a divine form inside you. You are the infinite, and you are beyond your body. We are not human beings with spiritual experiences. Rather, you are spiritual beings with human experiences. Stay connected, stay tuned, do like my videos, do comment on my videos, do share my videos. I'll be coming up with more videos of such kind. Thank you.